Okay, I think I'm behind on cave episodes. There's like 3 or 4 that I still have to watch. But I saw that Wired dropped this video like 3 days ago. Jacob Collier answering some questions, and so this should be interesting.
What's up everybody, my name is Jacob Collier and I'm a musician and I'm here to answer some of your questions from the internet. This is instrument support.
YouTube's website has become unbearable, dude. Look how slow this is. Oh my god. Okay. Let's restart this video. Let it buffer a little bit, I guess. God damn. It's so slow. Either that or it's my laptop. My laptop is fucking bugging.
What's up everybody, my name is Jacob Collier and I'm a musician and I'm here to answer some of your questions from the internet. This is instrument support.
Bruh. Oh my god. Let's try that again.
What's up everybody, my name is Jacob Collier and I'm a musician and I'm here to answer some of your questions from the internet. This is instrument support.
I don't know what that looked like for you guys, but for me it was like freezing and shit.
This is a question from @RachelGaza1. Why does a hashtag piano have 88 keys? It is indeed the case that there are 88 keys on the piano. Should we listen to them all one by one?
Bro's just flexing, oh my god.
And over the last few hundred years, composers have sought an increasing amount of range to
this guy, can you believe him?
So this note here, the C8, this is 4,186 hertz, which is actually a very high note. And this note here, which is A0, is 27.5 hertz, which is a very low note. Human beings can hear from about 20 hertz to about 16,000 hertz, which is a great deal of range. So the piano covers like a hefty amount of that. So yeah, 88 keys and much discovery to be found. Here is a question about guitars. Here's a guitar.
God
this
damn.
question is from @Zarhader. Why does holes in guitar exist? They are annoying when things fall into them. It is actually annoying. I've lost plenty of my belongings. I've lost.
Bro, so many guitar picks, and then you have to spend an hour with your guitar upside down shaking it to get it out.
Vibrating. The best sound is actually kind of inside the instrument. A hole in a guitar exists so that the sound can project. A question from @TeacherOnTopic. How does a theremin make music? Is it through science or from being haunted?
Both.
Valid.
That's an easy question.
This, in fact, is a theremin. And to rig this up, I think I just need this, which is one of 2 antennae that makes this work. I'm going to put this into here.
That's an easy question to answer.
And then powers on the back. Right.
What's good, God?
Okay, so the way this instrument works is by generating 2 electromagnetic fields from 2 antennae. So this is one antenna and this is the other down here. This one controls volume. So the further my hand gets away from this, the louder the sound. And this one controls pitch, which is
cool.
I'm not a masterful theremin player. But it's in that process that you generate notes and things, which is beautiful. Our bodies conduct electricity. What these antennae are measuring are essentially the electricity that our bodies are conducting. So it's a kind of a beautiful process of
it's magic.
Proximity and things like that. But anyway, maybe they're also haunted. This is freaking me out slightly.
It's witchcraft.
@Papa_Gibby.
That's easy.
Please. What is treble? And there's not even a question mark at the end of this question, so it's really...
That's when you get sent to the principal's office.
Treble is the word that we give to the very high sounds in music. You have bass, like all those low sounds, those bass frequencies. Frequencies in the middle, these ones. And up here, this is the treble end of the sounds. Yeah, so basically treble is high. I could have just said that. Treble is high. Okay, here's a question from @PeculiarYetReal. Guess that's me too.
Dude, he's so fast.
People do know what a rhythm section does. I know what.
His entire life must move like in slow motion because he's flying through these. They probably planned like a 45-minute video and it's less than 15 minutes long just because he's like in hyperspeed the entire time.
What a rhythm section does. A rhythm section is the part of the band or the part of the ensemble that plays the kind of the underlying rhythmic parts that create the body, the bed of the sound over which other things can happen. So say you're in a big band, the rhythm section comprises of the drummer and the bass player, the guitar player and the piano player primarily. And
so the band
provides the underbelly of all of those horns, flutes, trumpets, trombones, whatever you have in your big band. The rhythm section is the part that like holds down the fort. Here's a question that I endorse the asking of. Explain to me ... The concept of microtones. Do we ever use them in Western music? It does show up in popular music, especially with instruments like
microtones.
There are 88
Fuck, I rewound by accident. Microtones. That's when you put an iPod in the microwave. Bro, they should have called me in.
At Papa_Gibby, please, what is treble? And there's not even a question mark, high sound. People know what a rhythm section does. The band comprises of the drummer, and the bass player, the guitar player, and the piano player, primarily. And that provides the
iPod in the microwave.
All of those horns, flutes,
you're all wrong.
Trombones, whatever you have in your big band. The rhythm section is the part that like holds down the fort.
Clearly, I know more than Jacob does.
The asking of. Explain to me ... The concept of microtones. Do we ever use them in Western music? It does show up in popular music, especially with instruments like the guitar. You can bend notes on the guitar, and trumpets, clarinets, and flutes, and things like this. Where
you can also put things in the microwave.
Finger where you place the note. An easy way to explain microtones is through a game that I often play just for fun. I like playing games for fun. You take two notes, G.
That is the idea when you play a game.
How many notes can you fit between these two notes? On the piano, there are two notes between.
Okay.
Right? What happens if we try and squeeze in more notes? Right? Right, you can go forever.
Bro,
these are all microtones.
Oh my god.
On the piano. Here's a question.
Chill.
Hiss kink. Wow, what a username. Bro, why do people even play bass? You can't even hear that shit.
All right, you're just a dummy.
That's crazy to me.
You're just a dummy.
Let's get this. There's actually a bass here. It's handy. Bass players are extremely important in music. As a bass player, you can be the drummer. You can play melodies. And you can also play chords.
Bro's just playing shit. He's just setting his fingers up in random arrangements and just drumming.
It's a beautiful and very important instrument in music, and I'm a huge fan of the bass. From @hexachordal, why do minor chords sound sad? I would probably say that I think the reason
that is a good question.
Potentially sound sad is that
it's because when you're sad,
exact reflection
everything sounds sad. Everybody's so depressed. Everything sounds sad.
Of a major chord. So a major chord sounds like this. This is E major, one of my good friends, and that is E minor, another one of my good friends. Major chords exist in physics. They exist in nature. For example, there's a harmonic series in your mouth. If you go, what you actually may hear is really, really quiet notes here in my mouth. Every note has these overtones. If you yell in a chapel or a cathedral, I'd recommend yelling in cathedrals in general. It's just actually quite fun.
What? Why would you?
In a massive room, you will hear all those overtones shining.
Bro is walking into churches and screaming. He is living a way different life.
At you, and you hear a major chord, which is crazy. A minor chord, which you could say is derived from the undertone series as opposed to the overtone series, it doesn't actually really exist in nature in that exact.
You just
state.
played it. Sure, it does.
I would say minor chords don't always sound sad, but perhaps one of the reasons why they can inherently.
Making a beat using only minor chords, and you title the video, I made a beat with notes that don't exist. I moan in churches? Oh man. You might be, this coming from God is even crazier, actually.
They feel a little heavier than major chords is that they are the exact opposite in physics to what a major chord is. It's actually not a question, it's a statement. I think we're entering a post-riff world. All the riffs have been used up and there are no more riffs left to be written.
Sure there are.
All new riffs are either bad or a copy of another riff. I disagree, personally. Yeah, you think you can make up riffs. I think there are new riffs. Like, let's make up one right now. Right, I've definitely heard I've heard that before, and I've heard like dum 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 or something like that before. Perhaps no one has collided. I mean, let me know in the comments if this riff is taken, and I won't write a song with it. But it's my ability as a riff maker to combine things that I like that maybe aren't normally put together. That's what's cool. That's what's interesting, and that's what's worth doing. So don't be afraid to take something you like a riff or a chord or whatever, and make it your own.
Yeah, no, he's right here. He's been wrong so far, but he's right here.
Funky. That's in capital letters there. What makes a bass line funky is also a little bit subjective, but stable time. Right, so just having
the swing to it too.
Stable that you can move your body to. Repetition. sit on this all day. And then making variations on that. It's not just the notes that you play or when you play the notes, it's actually the duration of the notes.
Funky is when you have to rewear the same pair of underwear. Don't do that, guys.
If I play all
That's
those
gross.
notes long, that is maybe less funky, in my opinion. So it's actually a mixture. See, some of those notes are longer.
Come on, God, you can do better.
And the control you have over the length of your notes, you can go a huge distance. Here is another bass-related question from Add Comfortable 8467. Do bassists always tune the octave down from the guitar? The answer is fundamentally yes, actually. The bass is essentially tuned an octave down from an ordinary guitar, not this 5-string Taylor, but this is a 6-string Taylor that I have just stowed down here. E, A, D, G, B, and E. So these 4 notes here are the same as these on this bass guitar here. Okay, this is a drum question, so I'm going to answer it here at this drum kit. What are
Bro
your
is such a flex.
tricks
Oh my God.
to keep your drum tracks interesting and or evolving? Well, I think about this all the time. If you take an ordinary beat,
Damn.
one of the most legendary beats of all time, you can make that interesting without adding any notes or even changing any notes.
Who mixed those drums, bro?
Nudge certain things forward and certain things backward.
Who mixed those drums?
Move the snare drum backwards, just a fraction. This is what that sounds like. And already I'm kind of like, If I move the hi-hat forwards, right, so it's kind of sluggish, falling all over itself. One of the absolute pioneers of this was, of course, Jay Dilla, the legendary hip-hop producer from around 2000. He was just absolutely masterful at creating these kind of recipes, sonic recipes for grooves that had gravity in them, grooves that had momentum in them, so certain parts of the groove pulling back, certain parts of the groove pulling forwards. All that stuff makes your drum
Just do Ableton.
without having to add a bunch of crazy
Actually, he
stuff.
does.
This is from a choral user. What is 4 on the floor? There are a few different elements here before me at the drums. There's cymbals, there are toms, there's a snare drum, but most importantly for 4 on the floor is a kick drum. And 4 on the floor, every beat of a 4/4 bar is filled or anchored by a kick. So it's something like
I know 4 on the floor rhymes, but the floor drum is not what's being played. It should be 4 on the kick, right? 4 on the kick, or from now on, we actually play the floor drum to play 4 on the floor. Everybody needs to grow like a 3rd arm to play that floor drum every quarter beat or whatever. That is one of the little things that kind of bothers me. I don't know who else thinks about that, but I do.
as long as those 4 beats are going, you're fine. You can call it off on the floor. Here's another question from Wallu Squeegee. How the hell do you count odd time signatures in music? In music,
bro, just count.
Time signatures within every measure or every bar. You can divide that
just count
into
what the fuck?
different numbers. So a lot of music is in 4 beats in a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a groove in 4. If I were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is cool. That's a bar in 7, 7/4. You can basically divide time into any number of beats or subdivisions as you so please. This is a fun question from @JP_BSE, and the question is, hey music nerd.
That was that not 7/8? Because he was playing 7/8 notes. There was 3.5 quarter notes there. So would that not be 7/8? Or have I just been doing everything wrong?
I'm trying to understand the concept of polyrhythm, aren't we all? I've long been fascinated with the idea of polyrhythm. Polyrhythm just means many rhythms at once. If I play 3 in my left hand and 5 in my right hand, that sounds like this. See? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1. When I was a teenager, I set myself a challenge. What if I could do 5 rhythms at the same time on the fingers of one hand? So like a 5-way polyrhythm.
Bro is a lunatic.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. They happen at the same time. It's funky, it's fun, it's cool. This question comes from Charles Welcher.
Shut the fuck up, bro. This guy's a cyborg, bro. What the what the fuck?
How does a musical piece played with unweighted keys compare to it played with weighted keys?
It's heavier.
Keyboard, and this keyboard has what we call weighted keys in the sense that when I play a note, the key is a little heavy. It's mimicking a real piano, and inside of a piano,
Because you have to swing the hammer.
And a hammer will hit 3 strings per note. Many of us who play keyboard instruments, we kind of seek that feeling. There's just more degrees of nuance that you can find. It's nice to be able to lean into the dimension of the sound. Now in this drawer here, look, what have we here? We have this lovely Mini Lab 3 by Arturia. This keyboard is
weighted keys are the way to go.
We say unweighted in the sense that the keys are light as a feather. This can be really fun, especially if you're playing like fast stuff. You can whiz around like, your fingers don't get so tired. If I whiz around on here,
I've always preferred
just takes
weighted
a bit more
keys.
muscle power. This is
Just
easier
feeling
to
it.
fly around on, but it's harder to maybe find some of the depth to sort of maintain some of the nuance and performance with something like this. Here's a question.
That's
What
where the
is
soul
difference
is, bro.
between
The
white
nuance.
and the black keys on a piano. The white keys on the piano are all the notes of the
What's the difference between the white keys and the black keys on the piano? I'm not gonna say it.
C major scales. The black notes are all the notes which are not in the key of C major. So there are 7 notes in C major, and there are 5 notes that are not in C major. They're in a completely different part of the
No.
underscore. Why do some chords sound better together in chord progressions than others? It's a great question. If I pick up this...
Don't do that, chat.
here,
Don't do
this
that.
is in the key of D. So certain chords
D,
are
huh?
in D. They sound nice, or you can say they sound consonant in D because they have common notes. So for example, the chord of G major, right, does not sound too foreign in D major because both chords contain a D. In fact, this G major I played also contained an A because it had a little bit of color in it.
I hate people who don't use end screens, bro.
Carry over between chords. Okie doke.
That's a tip. That's a tip. Use an end screen. Set 20 seconds at the end of your video with just a blank screen and then have these things pop up. The video's not over, and now I've got shit all over the screen. Can I get the... Yeah, see, I can't even turn them off. And now they're covering up like 75% of what I'm seeing. Use an end screen.
That's everything we have time for today. Thanks for such amazing questions. Hope you learned something. I sure did, and I hope to see you out there very soon. Okay.
I was being obnoxious throughout the video, just making wise ass comments. But no, he's genuinely so talented, and literally just like a prodigy, like a genius. You know, it's so insane to hear him talk about music because it feels like he really does just live and breathe it. So that's insane. That's insane. Just the way that he talks about it, the passion that he has for it, it's super captivating. So I'll watch anything Jacob Collier is a part of or listen to it as well because, God, dude is just so charismatic and in love with music. So it's just so much more fun, you know, to hear somebody like that make music. But yeah, that was a cool video.